Yeah, enough respect in every aspect to the man like Mark. They love what the man talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, call that the radio. You call that radio, call that the radio. Come and say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just go with the flow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio. You call that radio. Come and say, don't you be an head, man, I'll go lose your head. Say, don't you be an head, me say, and lose the head, me say, radio. Call that a radio. Straight from out of Glasgow. Straight from out of Glasgow, nice enough on the studio. Come and say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just go with the flow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. No radio. You call that the radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject, and them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in a every aspect.
We're live. It's absolutely roasting, and we're about to welcome onto the show Midnight Ambulance. How is everybody doing? Thank you for joining us on such a warm day. I appreciate you. Tomorrow we're going to do another hot show at 2:00. We've got Seed, Becky and Alan going to be coming on talking about their new project, a new EP they've called Pain Cell. So that'll be tomorrow at 2:00. And right now it's Midnight Ambulance. Hello, Midnight Ambulance. How you doing?
Hiya, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm assuming that you are trained in first aid if it gets a bit too warm or I get too dehydrated during the show.
Yes,
That's the one.
Yeah,
Is Midnight Ambulance named after a Northern Territory song? How did the name come about?
Well, it was quite cool actually finding that Northern Territory song. I only sort of discovered that after checking that the domain name was going to be available to us. So I don't know how I missed that. No, it's actually it came from the project. It's more of a project name it started out as, and then that developed into a band. But it's because we'd write songs basically late at night over Zoom during the first lockdown, and it was super cathartic. So
is that right then? This project was born out of lockdown, so it's not all bad.
No, it's not all bad.
Silver linings.
Yeah.
It looks like you're in a studio right now. Would I be correct in saying that?
Yes.
That's right. So over again in lockdown, so I worked in touring music before all this stuff kind of kicked off. So this was my cupboard. This is where I kept all my things and flight cases. And then one day my landlord sort of poked her head in and saw that I'd started ripping it apart and sneakily tried to build a studio without telling anybody.
A stealth studio.
Yeah, I started unpacking all the boxes and sneakily trying to record drums when nobody's looking. But so now it's sort of grown arms and legs and turned into an actual wee.
Yeah, like a writing studio.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have this space available to us. So.
Amazing, and you're obviously you're doing lots of stuff though. I mean, in lockdown, I've watched the live performance from you already. It was the Garage Sessions, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was great. I love the Black Gloves video, which we'll show people in a little minute, just in case there's some maybe viewers that are new to your music. And you've got a gig, or almost a real gig, on Saturday with the Limbic TV crew. Mm-hmm. You looking forward to that one?
Oh, definitely.
Aye.
It's kind of like our first. Well, we did a live stream a few weeks ago, Dunn's Playfest, which was already really, really fun because we got to play with our session musicians, Alex and Drew. And this is kind of like the next stage where, obviously we still don't have an audience, but we're doing it live, and it's going to be a bit of a longer set. So yeah, we're really excited. Got a lot of new material as well.
Well, Limbic TV, I think they're one of the best in Scotland. That making it feel like a live gig. I think they do a great job of, you know, reading out the comments and stuff like that. And I know that I've enjoyed lots of bands that have played it. The Twistettes played it recently as well.
Yes,
It was amazing.
That was a great session, and the Logan's Close one as well. They've done a really cool job.
Yeah. And shout outs to the Limbic TV crew doing some amazing work, doing God's work, you might even say, and keeping everyone connected during lockdown. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. That's a Saturday, and I think what we're going to do is just play a tune for the people who maybe don't know, because what I really love, I love the sound that you've got. I can't quite place it, which is always quite exciting, because you know I normally like to guess who people are influenced by, but usually offends everyone. And I look stupid, so I'm not even going to attempt to do that here. But it's to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's a very unique sound you've got. I'm loving it. So let's ask the audience what do you make of all of this, and we'll come back and chat about it. This is Black Gloves, incredible animation video. We'll talk about that after we've watched it as well.
Like a little stuck in the middle of a new place. But I'll dive in, nothing to lose, but I'll keep that from you. Please don't let me win. And I'll count to loose change from these I can't afford you, baby. You are me, and we hard start. Cause the thing about us lately is that you are more than a maybe. I would trade if I had to for a little more company. Black gloves, a best dress, and a stranger's eulogy. A smile like bait, kind of evening for something I'm feeling undesired haze. Watch for the guard, the troublesome kind who's advised from speaking your mind. So can you bleed with an empty heart? Locked in a state told I would, they might hate me. You are me, and we hard start. Cause the thing about us lately is that you want more than a maybe. I would trade if I had to for a little more company. Black gloves, the best dress, and a stranger's eulogy. I'm sick from the taste of leaves in my mouth. I watch it salty hold long. I can tell you want a piece of mind when I say I'm doing fine. I'm just a stealing time. I'm sick from the taste of leaves in my mouth. I watch it salty hold. I can tell you want a piece of mind. I say I'm doing fine. I'm just a stealing time.
You call that radio? You call that radio TV? No. You call that radio TV?
This is You Call That Radio.
This is You Call That Radio. On the hottest day of the year, we're speaking to one of the hottest new acts in Scotland. It's Midnight Ambulance. And there's some great comments coming in already. We got Lou saying this is brilliant, loving it. Both the song and video are very atmospheric. About the video, how did that come about? It looks incredible.
Well, I guess it's sort of twofold. First off, my dad's a visual artist. He's a potter. He's actually based through the wall, so I kind of got busted quite quickly when I set the drums up. But he has a sort of share in a gallery in Edinburgh with this artist called Richie Collins. I've just, from a wee boy, I've always absolutely loved these paintings and kind of always had this idea that it'd be really cool to have a strong sort of visual element. Sort of creating a wee world that's completely separate to, you know, the normal sort of press shots and band pictures and all that. So luckily Amelia was up for me speaking to Richie about maybe using some of his paintings. And then basically I gave asked Richie for the stuff, and then we were like, who we're going to get to animate this, and well, you just figured that out.
Yeah, so we did a bit with Danger Kill Productions, who are really great. They did our Garage Sessions video, and Gareth from Danger Kill's just opened Bleach Studios in Edinburgh. So him and his partner in crime, Rory, he's a great photographer. They've just started up, so it was good getting their eye on it as well. But everyone was doing wide days at the time, so I ended up having to kind of finish it off myself, which was fun. But I think I definitely became more blind after the week of kind of staring at the screen. But the idea kind of came from, I suppose, when you're saying like we wanted to create this world, we were thinking of the narrative of the song, if that makes sense. And that kind of, just kind of what was going on in our own heads during lockdown. So the kind of world staying still and everyone being very close, but you're not really sure what's going on behind everyone's windows when we're all going through this really weird experience. So that's the kind of premise for like the animation, where that came from.
And it's obviously based in its own little world, but is it Leith a wee bit?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Leith.
Yeah, the artist is based in Leith, and it's all kind of fictional buildings that have got little snippets and tastes of the shore and various buildings. He's inspired a wee bit by sort of the Royal Mile as well, but there's sort of a fantastical artist interpretation of Leith. But it's it's nice that you noticed that, because it's all
Scottish roots.
It's all his kind of take on it. Basically it is Leith, but an alternative reality.
Yeah.
Alan Morrison has subscribed on YouTube, which everyone should do. Go and subscribe onto the YouTube channel. Ali Grant says, cool vibe, toe tapping beat as well. Reminds me of modern English type electronics. Remember that lot, 4AD? Good show as well. Decent. Really enjoying this, says Alan. Thumbs up from Greg. Tam saying, in the park thinking cargo. You up for that after the show? Well, you know me, Matt. Tam, I could be persuaded. Maybe if it's a bit cooler. I did go out earlier on for a cycle. It was too warm to do that. But maybe if it cools down, I might be persuaded to have a beer. Obviously, you're not allowed to drink beer outside, so we're talking metaphorically, of course, in Glasgow. But yeah, it was a roasting where are you using East Lothian? Is it just absolutely roasting where you are as well today?
It's just
we were trying to rehearse and only doing a kind of song at a time, and then opening the windows frantically.
20 fans on the go at once. It's horrible. Yeah. What's this about?
It's a bit much, man, and it's not made any easier by Amazon guy floating by your window, like thinking he's a spaceman now. All the billionaires are astronauts all of a sudden. That's how warm it's got. Ali Grant wants to know, is anybody here going to Dune? Any Dune buddies? That's good. Dune buddies. That's yes, Ali. If Dune goes ahead, I will most certainly be there. I will be there. I think You Call That Radio might be doing some interviews at Dune. But nice. I'm going with I'll be there with the Twistettes anyway. The Twistettes are playing, so I'm definitely there. And I'm not too bothered about doing anything. I'd like to just go to a thing and not have to do any work. And Dune, I mean, all we could do is cross our fingers. I mean, I'd say it's 50-50 whether that goes ahead. But it's a cracking lineup. I really hope it does go ahead. Craig Hendry says, I ken the bots like these things, so I will be listening on my way to do the shopping. You Call That Radio has been a better drain on my finances and brought me more joy than my Red TV subscription this last 2 years. Well, thank you very much. Yes, We salute all the key workers who are the patrons. If you call that radio, thank you very much for supporting what we do. And with regards to how can people support you, obviously Alan's already subscribed in YouTube. You've got your own Spotify and stuff. Is that the best way for people to check out what you're doing just now?
Yeah, we're on all the socials as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and yeah, follow us on Spotify, and you'll get all of our latest things. And we're also on all the usual streaming services, so just whatever one's your favorite, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, basically, yeah, just the usual. Follow us about.
Yeah.
You mentioned there about your session musician. So basically, this was started as a 2-piece, but as you're sort of thinking about dipping your toe into the live world, so is it going to be a 4-piece when that, or is it going to be a 4-piece on Saturday? What's the setup for Saturday?
So yeah, Saturday's a 4-piece setup. We just kind of, when we started this, the whole idea was that we were going to write the songs and just kind of vibe out whatever the song was. This sounds so artist pretentious, but kind of see what the music kind of wanted to be, rather than start a band that was going to be a rock band or a jazz band or a funk band or whatever. So we over that lockdown, we wrote more than sort of 70 odd tunes. Just kept writing and finding what it was that we wanted to do, and we kind of arrived at this sort of evil, dark kind of sound, which kind of summed up how we were feeling at the time. And we kind of feel that the way to best be able to do that in a gig scenario is to have a couple of pals come and make some noise with us.
Are you going to stay on the drums while you're singing?
Yes, that is my.
That's cool. Good. I'm glad you're not bringing another drummer, because that is just amazing. How difficult is that? Because obviously you don't get many drummer stroke singers, because it is difficult. So how do you feel it?
I think it's one of those things, like, I think that if you had to sit down and think about doing it, it would be impossible. But I think it's kind of getting your hands almost to, when you just do muscle memory kind of thing. And then you don't have to think about what your hands and your feet are doing, and you can just sing over the top of it. So people always say, oh, how do you do that? But it's just like doing anything, really. I think just starting doing it slowly, and then by the time you're at the gig, you're doing it automatically. But I am very talented. It has to be said.
Yes, love it. No, it's difficult to do. Our drummer Gordy, he's a fantastic singer. He's the best singer in our band, but I'm on the vocals, and I've always tried to get him to take a microphone, to give me some backup, because some of it's a bit fast and I need a bit of help. But he's like, nah, you play the drums, and I think he just can't do it. But he's a very good drummer and a very good singer, but I think throwing them together's too much for most. So well done in that. Shout outs to Alex as well. I know Alex from Big Fat Panda. She played our Capture Works show. It was a bit of a ska takeover we had a few months ago. Fantastic bass. I'm assuming she's on the bass. I know she can play a bit of guitar as well, though.
Yeah, she's a great guitarist as well. We were watching that show, weren't we?
Yeah, we enjoyed your duet with her as well. Yeah. That was great. That was awesome.
Yeah, we did. We kind of ruined it and didn't do it right, but it was still fun. It's still fun, and I think people are just going to need to get used to that as gigs start opening up. I think that we'll be allowed the odd mistake. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is. Because, for me, I've been playing gigs for about 12 years non-stop. There hasn't been that many rehearsals. A lot of it has been learned on the fly while we're playing live. So, now to just suddenly have no gigs or rehearsals, it's made me really, really shit. And that'll probably continue for another few months, I would imagine, post-lockdown.
Nah, you do yourself a total disservice. It was really good.
Well, thank you for not noticing I got the words wrong. But yeah, shout outs to Alex, an amazing guitarist, and many viewers here will know her as a bassist from Big Fat Panda. And I think we've got a clip of you all playing together, the 5 a.m. live. Where was this filmed?
It was in Duns, wasn't it? Yeah, that was at the Duns Playfest. It was the same team that we had for the garage sessions, so Solas Lighting and Stephen Selby Audio.
Danger Kill guys.
Selby? I know
Yeah.
Selby, I've not seen him in ages. Obviously, he's a person that, when live music's about, he's everywhere. He's omnipresent almost. Yeah.
Aye. Well, Yeah, so Selby was sort of PM production manager for all that kind
And
of stuff.
Will as well, wasn't it? Will Davis.
Yeah, Will helped out, and also Stephen Keenan. I don't know if you've worked with Stephen.
I know the name.
Lighting designer.
Yeah.
He's done. He's kind of, he works a lot with Selby and myself on various live things. So it was great. It was a really fun
really
bunch
fun.
of guys to work with. It was good.
It looks and sounds amazing, so that everyone did a great job on it. And let's check it out. Let us know in the comments what you make of this one. This will give you a more. I mean, obviously, what an amazing video it was, but I think it's good for everyone to see, what it's going to look like live. And this is what you can expect a bit. You can tune in live in real time this Saturday on Limbic TV to check it out for yourself in real time.
Waiting for a call. Waiting by the phone. TikTok, I watch the clock. What excuse this time? Do you expect me to believe that? You woke up, your heels flat, you stones to break bones. Fight the strange, the lights. And you reply. Invite the strange, the lights. Really overrated. Parties, expensive shoes. I rock up late anyway. We forgot that we had plans. Do you expect me to believe that? You light up your lips like hot coal. Breathe fire inside desire. As you reply, invite the strange, the lights. Now it's 5 a.m. I've lost my friend. Might as well get to know each other better.
Do you want it
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
It's called That Radio TV. We're live with Midnight Ambulance. And that's just sounding great, man. I want to see that live. I can't see it live yet, but we can see it live as it is allowed north of the border right now on Saturday night on Limbic TV. I think most people watching probably know how Limbic TV works. It's free to watch. You just add Limbic TV on YouTube or Facebook. I believe it multi-streams to both, and you can watch it for free at 8 o'clock on and see it for yourself. So Yeah, excited for that. So you're going to be playing gigs and having a bit of chat with the guys.
Yeah, and we've got an actual live gig. Kind of like Dune, we're a bit fingers crossed that it actually goes ahead.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be at Fringe by the Sea in North Berwick as well,
amazing.
which will be pretty fun because that'll be a gig in front of real human
Actual,
beings.
the real people, the people with the clapping of the hands and
Well, hopefully.
Aye, the pure.
naked faces. We'll have naked faces.
Aye,
Or-
maybe
we
quite
don't know
weird.
yet.
Might
Yeah.
need to. Aye, the naked. Well, this one's outside, so maybe naked faces will be okay.
Maybe naked faces.
Yeah.
Fuck. Imagine that. Right. Well, we're hopeful for that. And also, it'll be good. We had Kevin on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about some of the plans for Fringe by the Sea.
Mhm.
It's going to be epic. It has to happen, surely. And because it's outdoors, I think there is a good chance of it. And also, it's a lot smaller than I think Dune. I mean, I think it's a big event, and I think it's over multiple days. I mean, it's over multiple weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, it's 2 weeks, and it's multiple city, multiple venue city festival sort of thing, but between the sort of 4 venues within North Berwick itself, and they're all outside or kind of outside, like marquees and stuff like that.
Has the lineup been announced yet?
Yeah, full lineup should be available.
I'm going to find out what it is because they always put on a good lineup. They guys,
Yeah,
you know,
so
you guys.
I think Blondie's playing.
What?
Right.
Let me see. Let me check that. Let me fact check that. Blondie's playing.
I hope I'm not wrong.
You look very silly.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Like it's every time I look at the lineups that Kev puts together, I'm like, what? Okay, wait. I'll bring it up on the screen. I'll bring it up on the screen because this is going to be good. I've just seen the first couple of names and I'm like, right, okay, we'll put that on the screen. So we've got Basement Jack's DJ set, Lulu,
not Blondie.
not Blondie, Lulu. Well, Lulu's still good.
I was.
Just a tonic, God Buchanan, Connor Five, Ali Bain, Phil Cunningham, Mika Paris, Lem, Sissy, Jenny Godley, Gail Porter, who's been on the show as well, legend. So yeah, that'll be good. Ocean Plus, a lot of it's hundreds of stuff. I can't read all it, but it's the Daughters. Wow, yeah. Aye, that's going to be brilliant. That's going to be brilliant. Dr. Salad. And there he's are. There he's are.
He's on
7th of August. Is that not like the day that they announce what happens?
I think so. So might not happen.
Well, we don't know. You're on at 7 o'clock. The announcement's at 12. No, I think because it's level 0, I think that they're making plans for a level 0 gig. So I think you should be okay. Hopeful. Going back to your tunes, great sound. Kitty Daisy and Lou swap drums, guitar, and vocals during their set, says James Stewart.
Oh,
we should do that.
That sounds like a terrible idea. the whole drumming and singing.
Do you know we did that? There was when we had a song we used to do that in, and our synth player said that it was wanky and it was embarrassing and we should stop doing it. But we thought it was fun. We thought it was good. Are any of the three of you playing at Knockengorrick? No, I'm not. I've not booked, but I will hope to be there. Usually Knocky book me at the last minute. Maybe I'll do a spoken word thing. If not goes ahead, I'll be there for sure.
Oh, I've not been to
and I'm sure
for a long time. That'd be so great. Is it not usually earlier in the year, or have they pushed it back?
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Oh, the big pandemic. Yeah.
Things change. Everything's just not as it once was, isn't it? Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Knockengorrick actually traditionally had one at the very start of the year, Equinox, then one before the end of the year. There used to be two. But I think they put all over the last maybe 7 years to just put all their efforts into making one big party. But obviously they were quite early on. They were just like, this isn't going to happen. So they moved it to September, the end of September, I believe.
Oh.
So it's got a chance, man. It's got a chance. And a great place to go. So if Knockengorrick goes ahead, everyone should go and support that. And also we're playing Lindisfarne if that goes ahead. So we're reasonably optimistic for that. That's I think that's mid-September. So and it's across the border, which means it's probably more likely to happen as well. But yeah, I mean, I personally haven't really been booking many gigs because we did a European tour they get cancelled because of the pandemic. So I was very disappointed, to put it mildly. It's taken me 10 years to figure out how to make that actually happen. So I've just been kind of like not really wanting to book anything because it's a lot. You get your hopes built up and knocked down. So I just went for Lindisfarne though because I did want to do something. If something goes ahead, I'd feel a wee bit gutted. Not if I wasn't playing. But I'm up for going to Doon as a punter and then playing at Lindisfarne. That's what I want to do. And obviously when things like Fringe by the Sea come calling, you've got to say yes as well. And I mean, your first gig.
I know. Pretty good, right?
On a flyer with Lulu. Ali's saying Ali's got a ticket for Lindisfarne as well. Well, I'll see you at Doon and Lindisfarne, and hopefully not. Hopefully all these things are real things that do happen. We've got Jay Lee says that you're sounding fire. Alan's saying great stuff. Joe McCann is in the house. He says magic. Really like that. Craig's saying shoegazy. Reminds shoegazy stuff. Is there any shoegaze influences there?
Checking out my shoes the whole way through it.
We're all about the shoes.
All about joking aside, yes, I really kind of sort of. It's been quite nice going down that route. The sort of music I've always made beforehand has been very different. Well, I first met you, Matt, on the ska underground sort of scene. So it's nice to do this kind of thing. And yeah, definitely shoegazy.
Yeah, because I love ska. I love especially festivals. It's just the right music for festivals. But also, I sometimes think that festivals don't book enough effects pedals for me. Do you know? I like noise. I do like noise as well. And it's just amazing. James says, "See you at all three." So James has gone for it. James has gone for it.
All out.
It will be emotional if any of those happen. There'll be tears of joy, I'm sure. If you're allowed to cry, is that maybe a restriction that you're not allowed to cry or something?
Check the government.
Wear an eye mask with a tear capture device. There's a sanitized tear drop catcher device in order to enter, or something like that. Or maybe you've got to get a vaccine that takes that fixes your tear ducts so that's not. They'll think of something. I'm sure.
Safety first,
So, what about other bands? Any other bands that you've been kind of just been enjoying their music over the last year? Have you been listening to anything, or have you just kind of went into your own world of music?
Well, I think for me, music has been, as I'm sure it has for probably everybody that's watching this just now and that catches up later. Music has been the complete and utter saviour, be that creating or listening. So I think for me, I've really sort of delved into the back catalogue of some of my favourite bands and really enjoyed listening to them. But also discovering new tunes. There's a band called Chartreuse that I've really got into recently. Then there's a bunch of cool sort of new up and coming Scottish acts as well, like a guy called Kapil Seshasai. I always say his name wrong. But his album
he's great.
Absolutely stunning, absolutely brilliant. So I really enjoyed kind of wandering.
He had a live session. He had a BBC live session recently, I think.
Yeah.
And he played Glasgow Green. Yep. I've not heard the album yet, but it sounds amazing.
Kapil's out of this world. He does things with guitars that shouldn't be possible. And he's got no effects pedals. I don't know how it works. It doesn't make any sense. He's,
I was hosting the Scottish Beatbox Championships on Saturday there.
Oh, no way.
That was it blows my mind how people do that. The first time I seen, I think, Big Taj performing live, I was like, right, looking for the magic trick. Like, has he got a foot pedal? How is this even possible? But yeah, it just seems like that's a scene that's growing and growing. It doesn't. It's witchcraft of some form to make those noises with only your mouth. But yeah, that was great. But if people want to check that out, it's on our YouTube channel as well to watch it back. It was great. And with regards to other gigs, are you just going to do the Fringe by the Sea first, see how that goes, or are you actively booking for other stuff in the autumn winter?
Got a few things that we're kind of confirming at the moment. Yeah, just hoping that regulations are going to be in our favour, I suppose.
It's a difficult balancing act. Also, just figuring out calendars and all that kind of stuff as work. As gigs come back, my job was working at gigs before as well, so it's a bit of a trying to get the gig offers in first before the
Yeah.
other gig offers come in, before the work comes back in as well. So it's but yeah, we've got a couple of wee things that we're balancing. We're hoping to sort of keep momentum going and do some cool stuff later on in the year. But we're
See, that is
kinda,
the issue as well. Like, you know, the part of me that's obviously, you know, I was saying about earlier, and I don't want to be disappointed in book gigs, but there's a very real chance if you're wanting a Friday or Saturday night in any of the, you know, Glasgow or Edinburgh, then you're probably going to have to wait till March if you don't get your finger out, because everything's just getting, you know, you've just got a backlog of gigs that were meant to happen last March that haven't happened yet. Everything's getting moved along, so it's
that's crazy.
I'm thinking I probably should book a Christmas gig if I'm going to do one, because we always do one at Christmas. But yeah, I don't know if I can be bothered. I don't know. I just can't be bothered with disappointment. It's not that I can't be bothered. I want to play more than anything. It's just we'll see. We'll see. The heartbreak. I've had enough heartbreak. How much heartbreak? I mean, you know yourself. Anybody's ever tried to book a tour, never mind a European one, it's a nightmare. It's a logistical nightmare. But the reason I wanted to make it happen was because it was like Brexit's going to fuck it up. So I was like quite determined to just do it. And then obviously it wasn't meant to be. But with regards to your music that's out now on Spotify, is it an EP in Spotify?
2 singles, so it's Black Gloves and then 5 AM, which we released a few weeks ago.
That's it for the now, just the 2.
For now, just listen to them on loop. You won't get bored, will you? Definitely not.
No, I think it's enough. There's enough variation in the songs that I think you could just listen to them all day, every day for a few weeks, right up till Fringe by the Sea, just every day, all day. Run those numbers up, people.
That'd be great. We platinum disc
on the first 2 songs. But yeah, we're working on a few other bits and bobs, so looking to kind of.
Are you representing North Berwick?
I guess. Well, I am, and Amelia's representing the borders.
It's representing Scotland. I suppose
the east side of Scotland.
East side.
Yeah. But that's basically the plan for just now, is keep working on the live stuff. We've been writing like crazy, sort of recording, just sort of finding.
How long to an album?
Well,
is that too far? Is it too soon?
Well, I think it's something that, as a personal goal anyway, has always been something that I've really fancied doing, and we do have this body of work there that we're pretty certain that there's something interesting and something worthwhile in there. So it's just going to be a case of, obviously it's quite expensive to make an album, but also
people are saying that the album's dead. I don't believe the album's dead.
I would agree with you. I think that albums are making a comeback. Well, in my experience anyway, the people that
they're back.
They're back. They're here.
They're back. They were dead. They died. Well, they were on life support. They came back. That Euro tour is happening, says Craig. Craig, wait, once we will talk about that. Craig books for a festival in Poland. You call that right on the road? I'd love that. I'd love to travel. I'm sick of this room. I want to go places. You know, this is just a green screen, by the way. They're not really here.
There as well.
Just wizardry to make myself look like I go places, but I don't really go anywhere. I went into town today, and you know, all the streets were shut because they have trying to. Harrison Ford needs all the streets shut apparently in Glasgow. And if you've ever wondered how do you make like 2021 Glasgow look like 1970 New York, the answer is you just put American flags up in a building, lots of them, all down Renfield Street, and that works apparently. Now it's New York.
Nice.
And honestly, Harrison Ford as well, he helps add an air of legitimacy to the film that they're making as well. But I just thought they would have maybe did more.
It's good these producers are right top bucks.
I'm sorry if anyone is involved in the making of that set. I was very hot and a bit grumpy. I cycled for too long in the heat. Greg says I heard double albums are the next big thing. You're correct, Greg, because I have made a double album. The first album was out last month. The second album's out next month. But I just realised that maybe I should promote the first album and make some videos for that one before I do the second one. So it's just a wee bit. But the first one had to go at first because it was a bit too topical to hold off till September, because I thought, there was a very small threat that things might get back to normal, but I shouldn't have worried about that. I think it's going to stay a bit weird for a bit longer. So Limbic TV, another shout out for Limbic TV. So what you do is you go to type in the phrase Limbic TV with your fingers on a computer screen, and it will take you to either the Facebook page or the YouTube page. And at 8 o'clock, Midnight Ambulance will appear. They will be interviewed and play some live music, and it should be a blast. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's been great. I'm just going to go into a cold shower and cry for a little bit, and play the two fantastic singles from Midnight Ambulance at full blast.
Thank you.
Now, tonight, tomorrow, just right until rain starts again. And if it doesn't rain, then Fringe by the Sea. And thank you very much. Also, for anyone who's tuned in, join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got Seed. This is Alan and Becky Wallace, who've got a new project. And I think they've got a gig on Saturday, an actual indoors gig with people where you need to be seated. But it's almost like a real thing. Just don't stand up or wave your hands in the air or cry or sing. But it's going to be good. That's at room 2. So if you can't get to room 2, then you've got to get yourself to the internet and watch Limbic TV and check out these guys. Buzz that cargo soon. I don't know if I can handle a cargo. It's still too warm. But guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Have we've got maybe should we maybe finish with one more thing from you?
Yeah, certainly.
Shouldn't we?
I don't know what else we got video wise.
Oh, the video.
We've got a garage session.
Yeah, we've got the Black Gloves Garage session. That's the first kind of session video that we did here in Northbed.
Yeah.
Yep, that was fun to do.
That was at Selby's dad's garage.
Yes, dark and
amazing.
Dark.
I would look at it. It looks like a massive stage, man. I was trying to. No wonder I couldn't figure out. I was like, is that the O2 Academy? No, it's just a big garage with clever lighting. Amazing.
Stephen Keenan's lights works magic.
There's 6 lights. That's all right.
No, it was like, honestly.
There was a pretty tight budget for that.
He's a magician.
It looks magic. Good luck, guys. I'm loving the tracks, and I hope to see you live in the real world soon. I'll definitely be tuned in to Limbic TV on Saturday. Thank you. Get yourselves a cold beverage, and thanks for joining me on the warmest day of the year.
No bother. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Anytime, guys. Take care. See you later. Bye.
A little bit, quite like a little stuck in the middle of a new place. But I'll dive in, nothing to lose, but I'll keep that from you. Please don't let me win. And I'll get all the loose change from these I can't afford to pay. You are me, only hard star. 'Cause the thing about us lately is that you want more than me. I would trade if I had to for a little more company. Black gloves, the best dress, and the strangers you do. A smile like paint, that kind of evening for something unreeling under light haze. For the guard, the troublesome kind who is wise from speaking your mind. Can you bleed with an empty heart? Locked in a state of I would they might hate me. You are me, only hard star. 'Cause the thing about us lately is that you want more than me. I would trade if I had to for a little more company. Like love's your best dress on a stranger's you. I'm sick from the taste of my mouth. I walk so I can tell you all peace I say I'm doing fine. I'm just a stealing time.
Amazing stuff. Midnight Ambulance, go and check them out. Also, before I go, you know we've got Seed tomorrow. We've got Becky Wallace and Alan in the house tomorrow. That has already been said. But that's 2:00 in the afternoon. It's an early one. So make sure you tune in for that one. Also, I was going to say, you might not be aware that I've been uploading, doing lots of editing. We've been filming lots of new things. You've got Texture live from the Secret Animal Garden Party. We did the Scottish Beatboxing Championships. We've got Martin Windybank live from the Secret Animal Garden as well. We had L1 last week as well, and Mickey Nines, Cam Dunbar, and me going on a rant about why your friends don't share your music. So just go into the YouTube channel. I know that some of you might be on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, but go to youtube.com/You Call That Radio. Also, a wee shout about the Dr. Normal thing there. Is that wasn't the EP launch. I think some people thought that was the EP launch. We were just to clarify that, we were filming the EP launch, and then we had a couple of drinks, and then we did a wee live stream to give you an exclusive sneaky peek of the EP. But it's going to look and sound a lot better than that. We were just trying out the Garden's Wi-Fi to see if it worked. It half worked, but the actual real EP launch will be next week, and we've got multiple cameras set up. And we're going to edit the audio so it sounds and looks amazing. The EP is incredible. Dr. Normal is about to blow your socks off. That's going to be next week. I think maybe Friday the 30th that we'll launch that on the channel. So that's it. Go and check out the channel. And remember to add Midnight Ambulance on Facebook, Spotify, Twitter, and all that stuff. Thank you. Bye.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us and people of conscience to lose our morale.
Powered by our patrons.